Disclaimer. Not all the advice given in this video is factual. Take it with a grain of salt. Fired over racism allegation. Hello everyone. So a couple of hours ago I was in a group of trainees waiting for our trainer to arrive. We were training to be placed as car sales reps at car dealerships around my area. I was set to start working the floor of a local car dealership in a couple of days from now. Our trainer arrives, mentions that one of our classmates was missing due to an incident that supposedly occurred between her and one of us. He said that he would find out and that whoever it was to just leave now. So we go over a few things and then he leaves us to our devices to practice on our spiel. After some time with this he reappears and motions me to follow him outside. He says that the girl who was missing is claiming that I, supposedly, said that she shouldn't be a saleswoman because she is Indian over Messenger. I have never talked to any of my other classmates outside of training. I don't even have their phone numbers or know at all if they have Facebook accounts or not. I don't even know their last names. I don't even know how to spell out her first name. Keep in mind that this accusation has been done against me without as much as a screenshot. She said to him over the phone that she blocked me but would not provide proof that I said such a thing to her, let alone me ever messaging her at all. We go back and forth and he eventually decides to let me go. I tell him I disagree with his decision, but I accept it, so I grabbed my stuff from the room and left. What are my recourses since I have been fired without just cause in an adult state? Thank you for your help. You have no recourse against the car dealership. They do not have to meet any particular burden of proof in conducting an in-house investigation and deciding they had enough cause to let a person who hasn't even started the job yet go after an allegation such as this. You, hypothetically, may have a cause of action against the woman. Tortious interference comes to mind. Cases involving at-will employment aren't non-existent but they are complex. You can talk to someone who does civil litigation if you want to explore the option, but I'm not just super optimistic for you. The chances are good that they'll say the amount and probability of recovering it are low enough that the case isn't worth bringing, even if it technically may qualify. You likely have no recourse here. They don't need a reason to fire you in an adult state. You can apply for unemployment. Op might not have recourse against the employer, but he does potentially have recourse against the person who said this. They have a pretty clear defamation claim assuming what they said is accurate. They should obviously speak to an attorney, and it may not be worth a legal fight, but I think there's likely a decent chance it's actionable. My son's stepmom wants visitation rights. We live in Illinois. My son is 2.5 years old and sees his dad every other weekend from 5 PM Friday to 5 PM Sunday and every Tuesday from 9 to 5. His dad has been with his wife for 1 year 8 months total. Married for about 6 to 7 months. The conflict is that his dad is deploying in mid-June and he'll be gone until about mid-May. He wants his wife to keep visitation with my son and I'm not comfortable with it. I don't know her very well. My son is not old enough to tell me if he wants to see her alone or if anything is wrong, and I have told them that whenever she wants to see him, she can. I would go there or she could come here. He just told me this morning that he's going to take me to court after he gets back from his deployment, since I have said I'm uncomfortable with giving visitation at this time. I'm wondering if he has a leg to stand on and or if I'm being unreasonable. Thank you in advance. Edit. Spaced out the wall of text. Get an Illinois lawyer who specializes in military deployment custody issues. This is a complicated matter and you should not take advice from this forum. Free yet very bad advice could materially and negatively alter you and your child's lives for the next 20 years. What is more important to you, the amount you would pay a lawyer or access to your child? There really isn't any advice for you in this thread. If you cannot afford the initial retainer of an attorney, try and negotiate. If you can show a good faith payment and make a payment plan, and, most importantly, refrain from coming off as crazy, family law attorneys will work with you. I've worked in family law as a paralegal. Personally hated it for reasons like this. If you haven't already, please go to your lawyer immediately and bring this up. If you have this in forms of text messages from both of them, then take screenshots and send to your lawyer as well. The more you can provide upon initial contact with your lawyer the better. This needs to be resolved before he gets deployed. Wife's girlfriend retracted my son's foreskin and it got infected. My wife didn't take him to the doctor and I found out only after witnessing his infection myself. So my wife and I separated 5 months ago and she moved in with her girlfriend she was cheating on me with. That led her to discover she wasn't straight but lesbian. I should start off by saying this woman always gave me bad vibes, mainly because she is ditzy and irresponsible and avoids taking responsibility. Anyhow, my wife has had our son the last few months during quarantine. Now that summer is coming and some states are starting to return to somewhat normal, I asked her to return him to me for some visitation. We are not divorced and as such we have no official custody agreement. Honestly, my hope was that my wife would realize she missed me and our marriage and would come home, but now I'm preparing to finally let go. Anyways, I went to pick up my son and took him home. I had to change his diaper and right away I noticed that his penis was very infected and swollen and abnormal looking. I immediately phoned my wife and asked her what happened to our son. She confessed that a few days earlier, her girlfriend volunteered to give him a bathe because my wife was really tired after a long day's work. She is a substitute teacher and works night shifts in a warehouse. Wife's girlfriend has never cared for a child before, let alone a boy, let alone an uncircumcised boy, so she had no idea what the protocol was. Apparently she googled how to clean under foreskin and stupidly read to pull it back and wash it with soap and water. Well, that's what an adult might do, but baby boys have their foreskin attaches to the glands. During or after puberty, the boy should be the first one to pull it back as part of exploration. Anyway, she did pull it back and scrubbed it really hard because she thought it was so dirty it stuck together. Again, this woman is an idiot. My wife since then has just been putting Vaseline and Neosporin instead of taking him to a doctor. I immediately took him to an urgent care center and they told me that he has an infectious growth there that needs to be treated with antibiotics. I'm so angry that my wife let this happen. She basically agreed to let her circle fiend who has zero child care experience bathe my son, which led to his current serious injury. What I'm wondering is, would I be justified in keeping my son indefinitely while I begin working with my lawyer to draft a divorce agreement? I also don't want this woman, the girlfriend, anywhere near my son whatsoever, even if she gets partial custody. And would I be a jerk if I used this incident as evidence of negligence? I recorded the whole conversation where she admitted to me what happened, and yes, it's legal to do so where I live. Please help me think this through, because I'm incredibly frustrated and angry. My poor son. Location equals Portland, Oregon. I agree with most people that you won't be able to legally keep your wife's partner away from the child once whatever custody arrangement is made. This is, sadly, not an uncommon mistake, and while your wife should have briefed the GF and taken him to the doctor, it's unlikely to be negligence of a severity that would seriously affect custody determination. Talk to a lawyer before deciding to keep the child away from your wife. Your lawyer will be best placed to advise you on how a judge in your jurisdiction is likely to view such an action when what caused the infection was a non-malicious mistake. You need to find a lawyer to help you get a divorce and establish a custody agreement. Honestly, it sounds like a mistake through ignorance. Yeah, the girlfriend was dumb to retract his foreskin, but it's pretty common for it to retract when they are toddlers. My son is not circumcised and was able to retract his by himself, of course, when he was about 3 to 4. It doesn't sound like she did it maliciously or meant to hurt him. Did you get that impression? He should heal up fine after the course of antibiotics, and hopefully your wife and her girlfriend have educated themselves. Speak to your lawyer immediately. If your lawyer does not have experience in family law/divorce, then get a referral. You need to cross all T's and dot all I's. Document everything. From when you found your son's infection, to his doctor visit, follow up, etc. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.